Oh, ce s-a întâmplat aici? Văd că mi-a pus ăștia o cracă. Shit, warning. Your vehicle. Oh my god.
He's just like us, but he's rich.
Yeah, I will ask this guy. Salutare YouTube. Vă salut din Florida, unde nu e chiar atât de cald cât am sperat eu. Și sunt claxonat de americani, că am trecut pe roșu, sunt fie rușine. Nu mi-am dat seama. Da, ideea este că nu este atât de cald cum am sperat. Sau cel puțin a fost în dimineață, m-am trezit. Și ca să era frig, am zis că mi-au acest hoodie pe mine. Că muream efectiv de frică, am zis, bă, hai să dau un pic drumul la geam, poate apare mai cald. Și când am ieșit afară, erau fix 7 grade. Nu este deloc normal. Și am vorbit cu un prieten și am zis, bă, știi ceva, eu îmi schimb zborul, vin înapoi acasă, că la voi e mai cald ca aici. Dar între timp s-a încălzit și sunt din nou. Am făcut niște prieteni noi și avem o mașină deosebită, am postat-o și într-un vlog în care m-am urcat în roata lui și el nu credea că o să am loc. Având 1,90 înălțime, janta aia era de 30 de inches, 30 de inches. El era 100% sigur că nu o să am loc și nu încap în ea. Dar a funcționat și ne-am distrat un pic în seara aia. Și acum m-a invitat să-l vizitez și pe domnul sau compania care i-a modificat mașina, pentru că este ultra modificată. Este o companie care face asta, se ocupă cu modificatul mașinilor în sensul ăsta. Le ridică, le face suspensia, n-ai știe ce le face, o să vedem acum. Nu știu ce mă așteaptă, doar vreau să le iau cu mine, să ne distrăm împreună. Azi am făcut același lucru ca până acum, m-am trezit la ora 5, am lucrat până la 12, la 2 am fost la sală, i-am dat blană. Alina mă motivează foarte tare când este vorba de sală și apoi am ajuns acasă, am mâncat. Aici am totul controlat, am început și o transformare. Vreau în următoarele 4 luni să mă transform fizic, să scot din fizicul meu 100% ce pot să fac cu mâncare controlată, sală controlată, control hormonal prin doctorul meu, am coach de antrenament, adică am fitness trainer, am un doctor care se ocupă de tot ce înseamnă sânge, hormoni, testosteron și alte valori care sunt importante pentru sănătatea ta. Și asta vreau să fac, vreau să mă controlez și la mâncare, bineînțeles. Alina gătește, cântărește absolut tot și tot e foarte controlat. Și asta este foarte ușor de realizat aici, pentru că cu asta ne ocupăm, aici e timpul. Oh, văd că am o... Oh, ce s-a întâmplat aici? Văd că mi-a pus ăștia o cracă. Și asta nu este bine. Am o cracă. Nu știu ce le-ai făcut, dar am să vedem că scrie aici. Shit, warning. Ok. Ce prostie am făcut. Probabil nu am plătit ceva, pentru că în America aici... Să vedem ce de făcut. Nu, sigur de plătit. O sumă mai mare. Asta e, hai că vedem. Revin, închid acum, că vreau să rezolv chestia asta și revin la voi. Se pare că n-ai voie să parchezi aici peste noapte și eu am lăsat mașina. Nu știam reguli americane, românul nu știe și m-am trezit cu o, din asta, cum îi spune, o barieră la roată și o să plătesc $100 ca ei să o îndepărteze. Acum am sunat, mi-a zis să aștept la mașină, că trimite pe cineva, nu știu cât va dura, dar aștept și o să plătesc, bineînțeles, apoi o să pot să plec să mă văd cu prietenul meu, este prietenul lui. Are și el un SUV sau truck din ăla, probabil al lui a fost primul și să facem niște content cu amândouă. Cred că o să fie Caterinca, pentru că la noi așa ceva nu există și sigur o să vă placă și vouă, pentru că e ceva deosebit, e altceva și de-abia aștept. Acum vedem când o să vină acest individ să mă elibereze ca să pot să plec de aici și vă țin la curent.
Z Performance.
Yes. Yes.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me just go from the other side. What? I thought you are driving.
I am a car.
You can go.
Cross pump.
Oh, okay. You don't want to drive?
No, I'm good.
No, she. Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure
Appreciate
to meet
you.
you. Gotcha.
Wish you all the
I would
best,
love to see
all the
performance,
best in the world. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Bye. Was good to meet you. Am luat undeva spre nord, vest, mai în adâncul Floridei sau Miami, nici nu știu exact unde suntem și totul pare foarte ciudat. Ne-am dat seama că aici locul este atât de mare și sunt atât de multe persoane, fiind totul foarte întins și sunt mulți oameni care sunt aici ilegal. E logic că criminalitatea e foarte dezvoltată, că sunt oameni care fac tot fel de prostii, pentru că în primul rând sunt aici foarte mulți ilegali. Și chiar dacă îi prinde, cred că mai ieftin pentru statul american ar fi să-i trimită acasă, să deporteze decât să-i ține la pârnaie. Și e logic că oamenii fac prostii când nu au voie să muncească, sunt ilegali și trebuie să mănânce ceva. Pentru că sunt foarte mulți din Puerto Rico, din Cuba, din Mexic, din toate țările astea latinoamericane. Și aici lucrurile arată un pic diferit față de Miami, Brickell, centrul orașului unde stăm noi. Casele sunt foarte ciudate, sunt mici și au doar un singur etaj, adică nici măcar au doar un singur, da. Sunt construite foarte ciudat și mici, foarte mici. Și blocurile, uitați-vă un pic ce blocuri, adică imaginează să stai în chestia asta aici. Uite un pic cum arată blocurile astea. Ca niște cutii. Deci mi se pare incredibil să stai în ceva de genul. Totul complet diferit față de cum îți închipui cumva Miami și Florida. Dar na, aici este mai, nu știu, mai spre în interiorul țării. Dar nu mult, am mers gen jumătate de oră. Ai foarte mult trafic. Se schimbă timpul mereu și ok, e foarte mult trafic, stai mult în trafic, dar niciodată nu stai cumva pe loc, mereu te miști în comparație cu București, unde dacă prinzi un trafic și stai pe loc, de exemplu eu fac 7 minute până la sală într-o zi fără trafic sau vara când oamenii sunt plecați în concediu și într-o zi de muncă din octombrie faci 40-50 de minute. Pentru că Pipera aia, nu știu, e singurul drum care merge spre oraș și toată lumea merge pe el. Plus că au început să facă acolo de fațadă, așa, ca să arate că fac ceva, conexiunea între Pipera și autostradă, dar de fapt nu o să o termine niciodată, după câte am înțeles eu. Bine, sunt niște chestii aici la mijloc, nici nu pot să le spun acum. Sunt curios că o să dureze să facă chestia aia acolo, să unească Pipera cu autostrada. Vă spun deja de acum, foarte curios.
Hello. Hi, ALINA.
Manny, nice to meet you. What's up?
Hi,
man?
Zed, nice to meet you. So I will switch to English now because I usually vlog in my language, but we're gonna put subtitles for the English, so it's fine. There we go, the microphone is yours.
All right, man.
So we arrived here where the magic happens, where all these crazy builds that are now super hyped on the internet. I talked to a friend of mine and he was like, yeah, you know that, it's like blowing up everywhere, I see it everywhere.
All the way in Romania?
Yeah,
Wow.
in Europe,
In
everywhere.
Germany.
Yeah?
He's a German guy, so in Germany.
That's cool, man.
Ah. All right, well, welcome to Papi's Garage. This is where we
Thank
make
you for
all
having
this.
us.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming over. I mean, this is kind of where we make everything. So you've seen the trucks, you've seen the parts that we make. You'll see James destroying them everywhere, and you'll see PJ post about every little detail that we do on every single product. This is kind of where we make everything. Most of the builds that we do here are going to be the unique builds or like the first of, just because everything that we try to phase is like a research and development type of phase. But most of the stuff or most of our tailored business is actually producing these lift kits and getting them shipped out. You're going to see like these crates that we're going to start packaging with lift kits. And then if you come like to the front door, you'll see like the hardware station and the shipping station. And this is where we're going to bundle everything that's going to leave here. So we mill all of the billet pieces. You'll see the billet pieces that hold the sway bar clamps. You'll see the billet pieces that hold the coil caps, the billet pieces that hold even the steering sensors on the 6x6. All of those billet pieces get machined here. Every single component. Well, this is a 3-axis. We have the optional 4th rotary up there, but we really never use it.
don't need it, right?
We don't really need it for the stuff that we're doing. If we ever have any 5-axis work, it's cheaper to sub it out than to sit there and program that.
Could you CNC like wheels as well?
Yeah, we can make wheels.
sick. Why you don't do that for yourself, man?
I don't really feel like there's enough money in the wheel market here, at least in the industry that we're in right now. There's another industry, which is I feel like the industry that you're kind of more targeting. Yes, that's definitely a different clientele, and that's definitely somebody who would understand like the difference between what an actual forged wheel is and like what a flow forged wheel is or something different. In my industry, people are basically beginning to understand what the word billet even means, you know? Right. So it's a little bit more complicated than that. But ultimately, if we needed to make the set of wheels, we could make the set of wheels there.
One question, do you have competition? Is it you the only guys here in Florida who do that?
I don't recognize any competition.
Yeah,
never even heard of that. Yeah, when you're racing, you never look next, right? You never look to the side. So,
you look behind.
Huh? I don't want to look behind. Straight ahead, man. But you get an idea. This is how we bundle all the parts. Let me walk you kind of like in the shop so you can get a little bit of an idea. You got excuses on our current disaster. Usually like 17 things going on at the same time. Right. This is a new kit that we're developing, which is the reason that this truck is here. This is mainly, we try to park at least the one vehicle that we're actively working on and designing. I'll show you inside where we design here. This is where we're getting some dimensions, where we're testing some stuff, yada, yada. The rest of the stuff is gonna be the in and out work, right? So we have a quick little build that needs to come in, that needs to come out. It's usually the local customer. Yes. We don't really take many builds like this, but all the local guys and stuff like that, that's how we get to push our agenda a little bit harder. And that's how we get such a big, like, you know, we have these like little meets. On Saturday, we went to an event in the Keys and we're able to make a couple phone calls and we'll have 7 or 8 trucks pull up.
Are you gonna do this again?
What?
Yeah, going to the Keys. I would like to join you guys.
Yeah, we can do that whenever, man. Yeah, without a doubt.
So you guys you're doing this business together? You're in this business together?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I started like 10 years ago. He hopped on board like 3 years ago, and we like the same thing. We share the same passion, so we just kind of push on.
So it was, did you start it out of a passion? It was like you want to do something that you love, or was it for the money? To be honest.
No, definitely not for the money. Definitely, I had a pickup truck, and we were doing diesel repair, and I had bought like a first CNC plasma table. We were cutting some like custom suspensions for that. One thing took one thing to another, and now we're here, you know? Yeah. At the end of the day, creating is kind of like the part that I really like. Like if you see the technology on the 6x6s, the way that app controls it, the electronics on that, making something is definitely my passion. His passion is viralness and going crazy and stuff like that. So we kind of like thrive off of each other in that sense. You know, I like to make stuff. He likes things that you've never seen before.
You do the engineering, he's the marketing.
He's the loud guy, yeah, definitely. So.
You're the loud guy? Be loud.
Be loud. So here we have a truck. You were saying that's kind of difficult to bring big trucks over there. This would be more of something that the everyday guy has, right? So this is like what we call like our everyday lift kit. It's a 4.5 to 10 inch. This is the stuff we actually make. Like, right. It's not as intricate, right? This is just a bolt-on kit. Any shop could do this. We ship the parts to shops all the time, right? And then we have like little added, you know, kind of details like these stainless overlays like you saw on the 6x6. If you see all the designs match like the trucks that you were riding in, you know? And yeah, these are some wheels that are gonna go on this build. This truck came in 2 days ago. It should be out in 1 day, and you'll be back on the road with an 8-inch lift. Here's some of the parts. Wow. So you just saw the parts on the shelf, basically welded. We get them powder coated with Miami powder. This is our buddy Raul, and then it'll come back, and it's essentially ready for powder coat at that point, you know. So this is like a cool purple.
So in this color was what the customer chose?
Right.
At first he wanted black. We were like, oh, you want to do something cool? We're going to powder coat anyway. He's like, all right, let's do purple. I want flake, you know? So it's cool because then they can add their details. These kits are super, what Manny calls modular. So you could add on parts later on, like a cradle, a radius arm. This is our radius arm here.
That's so sick.
Like the whole vision for everything, and it goes from like this smaller scale kit to what you've seen in the 6x6s is pretty much what he said, which is the word modularity, and number 2, branding. For us, a big thing is branding. We want a lot of people, the name is kind of like a catchy name with the Papi's name, so we want people to be able to see any truck that has any of our components, any of our suspension pieces, and you're like, oh, that's a Papi's truck. You know what I mean? When you see a girl with a Louis bag, if you see somebody with a Hermes.
You do. You recognize it by the way.
The shapes and stuff, all the stuff is kind of consistent, you know? Like you look at this and it looks similar to like what's underneath that white and gold truck that you see. You know, you look at that, it'll be the same thing.
Welding is good.
Yes, welding is definitely got to be good. We're definitely in that sector where every little piece is micro-analyzed, you know, from a fabrication standpoint, whether it's clean cuts because we do cut everything with a laser, whether it's, you know, the prep work involved, whether it's the beadwork. Ryan is our welder. You'll see the gentleman with the cap on the back right now. Yeah. He's our welder. The uniformity in the parts fitting good, the ease of install, all those things take a lot of into account, which is kind of like been, I would say, the hardest part worth of growth, right? Being able to satisfy customers, fulfill orders, and continue to improve the product to get to a sustainable product. That's already, wheels is a lot easier. As long as you got the bolt pattern and the bore right, you really can't mess that up, right? The offset and stuff like that, that's on people. That's not really the manufacturer's fault. You know, you're going to put out a spec sheet. It is what it is. But on our stuff, there's so many ways that shops are going to be less inclined or maybe more inclined to installing the stuff. And that's where we kind of take the pride in trying to grow and level up and get to the next level. So
I'll show them the laser. So all these parts you see here are 3D already, right? They're essentially assembled. But after he designs them, they essentially get cut here on our laser, which is like a huge.
You do like almost everything in house.
Everything, yeah.
The painting, right?
Everything except the painting, right? So this was like a huge upgrade for us to have this laser. We're able to cut these massive
When did you get this
sheets.
one?
January 6th last year is when we got it started, right? So, and we just got rid of it.
Like when pieces get cut, this is like the cut quality straight from the machine, you know? So from here, we'll prep it a little bit farther. And yeah, I'll show you the edge. There you go.
Which was huge for us because back then before, we used to have to grind off all the edges before we welded it with our last machine. This machine gives us, you know, essentially ready to go parts. Yeah.
It goes faster.
Yeah, a lot faster and a lot better of a product and a lot more consistent. Yeah, if you look at
2 sheets at a time.
when we
It's nuts.
when we design everything is designed around. I'm going to show you an example here. Everything is designed around the OEM CAD files. So if you notice here, we have a chassis. This is nothing more than a decorative plate. But if you notice, these 4 holes and these 2 holes already exist on this chassis, right?
All right.
So we designed that so that it already comes ready for that. You know what I mean? You use an existing hole. If you look something as wild as his truck, it's the same thing. That's a cabin chassis truck. That truck doesn't have anything welded on the truck. We take off the stock suspension from the truck, and then you grab all of the components that we fabricated, and we bolt them onto the truck.
You theoretically could have,
You can put it back to stock.
so it could, yeah.
Yeah, in theory, you could take everything that's gold underneath off. You could put the OEM rear axle back on, take off the bed, and you have an original cabin chassis truck. So the idea is to try to showcase and I guess show off a little bit the manufacturing capability in that sense. Another big thing is turnability. You know, if we can get into a world where we can sell a couple of these trucks, realistically, the time spent is the time in research and development in creating that product. After that, the time spent, we put that truck together in 4 weeks. You know, it did take us 8 months to build the first one, but his truck got put together in 4 weeks right before SEMA.
Right, then.
That's everything, right?
So everything you see here essentially is the prototype section there. Sometimes we do quick in and out builds, you know, to pump up the brand, but mostly we're manufacturing here every day. You know? Come check out the design.
That's so sick.
You got any questions?
No, so far you already answered all the questions right away. I mean, that's sick.
Perfect presentation.
Yeah, I mean, the guys are prepared.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still filming, but he claims this is him. He claims this is him. I don't believe
He
it.
claims. So is it you?
Of course it's me, man.
Of course.
You like this part here?
Boobies.
Yeah, that's Alina's type of painting, right?
Like here's pretty cool. Here's like 30 of our trucks that we took.
Did you build?
Yeah, right. So these have our suspension. So remember, some of these we ship all over the world, and then they assemble it, and they're part of the world, right? So, you know, some of these trucks were from here, and now they live in different places because we built them, or shops around the world built it. You know, like this truck lives in Georgia. This was one called the world's widest dually. So if you see, we put 2 boggers. Manny actually made 2 custom 3-piece wheels, and then he made an adapter in between that was 12 inches long, like a big ass spacer, you know? And it sits 2 1950 boggers next to each other. So we call it the world's widest dually. And he drives like 100 miles an hour on the highway with no issues.
And it's beautiful too, like the red and the.
Yeah. And it has the red lift kit on the bottom. This was like I would say like the second year that things were like really starting to go. So these are just 30 trucks from that year, you know?
How many did you sell like altogether?
I think, in my opinion, there's 300 trucks with our suspension on it or components on it, you know? But there's definitely a lot of builds. These are just 30 from that year, you know? Because we got to fill up all the other walls. But, you know, these are, you know, something as simple as a 4-inch kit, right? That truck was here. It got a 4-inch, and then it came back and went up to 6. And he got bigger tires.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, that's kind of our goal, right? Then he could go to this. So you could definitely, even if you're not in the industry, you could definitely notice the difference between this arm, which is like our first level, then the cradle, which
So
we call a mini one.
What is like the highest level?
This right here, which is the mega cradle, or the 6x6s, which is what you've been.
So yours,
Right in.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
You're the baller? Like
Yeah, he's rich. Yeah, he's just like us, but he's rich. But yeah, man, these are, you know, this is when a customer
How
walks
much money
in.
could you spend on something? Like, what is the highest?
The max level is definitely him, right? That's 475.
50K?
Yeah, 450.
And then a more routine build would be something like this, right? So let's say you bring in a truck. This truck factory is 100 grand, right? If you buy it year of the year, no miles, 100 grand, and underneath you would spend, 20 grand on our lift kit, probably $15,000 in wheels and tires, 4 grand in coilovers and shocks. You could easily rack up
40K.
right 40K, and then you got to paint everything. We take all the plastics off and paint everything the same color as the
And
truck.
so on,
Right. Headlights, grill.
What
We
about
open the
lighting,
headlights.
some lights on top or something?
Yeah. We open the headlights and paint the insides to match the truck, and then seal the headlights. The taillights the same. The mirrors the same.
You
Every
do
little
this
plastic-
also here?
Yeah, we do that all here. So we don't paint here. We take everything apart and
Yeah.
send it to our painter.
Yeah.
But they smooth all the texture out of stuff, so that when you look at it, it looks like the body.
That's brutal.
No?
Look at this,
Yeah.
look at the combo.
So this was like a little bit of an older truck. This is like a 2011 to 2016, and it's a good way to add value. If you have this truck, you build it, and now it looks kind of like the rest of the board, This was one of our first ones that had tubes instead of our sheet metal arms. So that was like a little.
So why did you switch? Is it more?
So
more
so
durable?
realistically, Manny's plan was always to kind of push this in the industry. Only people that were doing this, you had to weld the lift kits onto the frame, right? And then when Manny started making these kind of kits, but bolt on, now a shop could install these sorts of lift kits looking wise without having to weld it to the frame, which means you could take it off and put it on another truck. If you want to upgrade your truck or you want to change the color, you just unbolt everything and bolt it on, and you could do it. Anybody could install it, You could do it in your driveway if you really want to, right? So when that all started, this was the only thing available was tubes. So, everybody kept saying, Manny, Papi's Garage, please make tubes. And he was super persistent on, I want to do sheet metal. I want to change the industry. I want people to be able to bolt on this style of look. And now you're able to have a shop that showcases their high level builds, right? And now everybody in the industry has switched from tubes to sheet metal, right? And now people take it to different extents, like the 6x6, right? The 6x6 has the same style arms, but a little differently because it's a 6x6 conversion, but he's got the files loaded up. So
I was gonna load the 6x6 file, but you saw the black ram outside.
Yeah.
So the black ram outside is a new kit. This is the perfect way to see a not complete kit. I'll show you a more complete kit later on. But basically, you're gonna be able to see everything that's in the chassis of that black truck that's outside right now, right? So you're gonna notice what we do already have done. We have this cradle already designed. An example of the way that we designed this cradle, down to like the way that we cut it in the machine just for assembly purposes. You see these puzzle pieces. So this is how we're able to build the cradle over and over again, and it'd be the same exact cradle. You'll see the width of the frame. The width of the frame will be compensated, right? Then you have the using of original bolt holes. You see these holes with threads that already exist on the frame. So when this gets to a customer, they would grab this cradle, they'd put it on, they'd use these two holes as a jig, and they know where to drill the rest of the holes, right? You're going to see the front four-link bars. This is how we get the correct dimension. From here, we'll throw a million different sketches, right? That we'll draw like the circle of the wheel. We'll try to get anti-squat center, get a center of gravity on the truck, all the little things. Right now, we're designing the back brackets. Very, very rough design, but you can start getting an idea. This is going to be the bracket that starts getting designed. Let me work my way to the other side of the frame. So if you notice, we're already trying to design this bucket. This is very rough. If you notice, none of the parts look like this, right? But this is how it all starts, right? We start with one part. This part is going to use this one bolt hole that exists as a guide. That's our first guide, though. That's the starting point. Now we have the true concentricity of this circular center point. So from here down to the center of what used to be this on the coil spring mount would be the center of that front axle. So we'll design here, and then we'll put the bag, and you'll get the rest of the idea, right? So that's how we design everything.
So you work on it like yourself? Or
Yeah, this is what I do.
Did you learn it in like university, or did you?
I teach yourself everything. Yeah. We teach ourselves everything, right? So if you look at the 6x6, I guess
that's insane.
I'll show you some other things now a little bit, but just so I can get you some ideas. So this is the front truss, right? Everything breaks down into smaller pieces. You'll see how we use. This is the OEM perch, right? So we use more little bolt holes to guide. This is like an assembly purpose.
Do you have this is just for myself, because I do wheels and we have all this sort of technical certifications like strength and something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do this as well, like testing?
Yeah. We do a lot of different load variants, right? So if you grab any of the materials that would have normally loaded something, right? So the original arm goes from here to here. You grab the original materials that it's shaped with, right? Every material, the automotive industry is a little bit different, right? So in the automotive industry, everything should be 800% stronger than what it's supposed to be rated at. So realistically, if it's a 10,000 pound vehicle, just for reference, right? It should be able to handle 80,000 pounds worth of force. The reason they do this is because vehicles are A, heavy, and B, they assume the guys driving the vehicles don't know what they're doing. Perfect assumption
Yeah,
and
they're
correct.
gonna load the car with.
Huh?
They're gonna load the car.
They're going to
with-
overdo everything that you tell them to do, right? You tell people that you need to put tires at 40 psi, and every people are having discussions whether to do 50 or 60. I don't understand why, but that's the reason that people do things. So the way that manufacturers do this to try to limit liabilities, and by manufacturers I mean OEM manufacturers, is the basic DOT SAE rule that we have set is a precedent of about 800%. For reference, rockets, they try to save weight, right? So when you're trying to build rockets, their ratio is actually 102%. So if the rocket can only weigh 100% of what it's supposed to weigh, they can only have an extra 2% weather factor, because if the rocket weighs too much, it won't take off and it won't go somewhere. So that's why you notice if there's a small problem with the rocket, they usually blow up, right? Because there's not much that we can mess up. Cars, for the most part, even if something goes wrong, nothing really goes wrong. You'll go 120 miles an hour, you'll hit a wall, you walk away, and the insurance company picks it up, and somehow somebody else still fixes it and then resells the car. Mind-blowing, right? So the reason that exists
This guy's out of control, huh?
is because of the engineering protocol behind that, right? So we grab existing parts that would have already held the suspension. We look at the same exact materials that they use, the same exact ratio of materials they use. Everything that we do, we still try to do 3 or 4 times stronger than that. So for reference, if somebody's already doing 800% for the consumer safety, and we're still doubling it, tripling or quadrupling, our parts are definitely not going to be the failure point. The problem happens here in all of the added components, all of the different stress factors. Adding 30-inch wheels with 40-inch
Already here,
tires.
right?
Correct. All of those problems is the issue. You know, so it's everybody's like, hey, how are the parts good? The parts aren't going to have an issue. The parts really only have an issue once the frame and the rest of the components. Hubs is a perfect example on these vehicles.
So did you have ever a customer who wanted to have this replaced and made by yourself?
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, you get an idea. So we have a frame outside that we're actually redoing. Let me close this. Give me a second. It's going to take a while. But yes, we're redoing a modular. I had a customer. He's like, hey, can you do a frame off? Beautiful build. So we take the chassis. We cut off the brackets that we're not using. Let me make sure this is actually closing. Yeah. Okay. And we came to the agreement at the end. I was taking a lot to do in the project. I take a long time to do the things that I don't want to do. I did not want to do this because to me it's a factory frame and then we're powder coating. It doesn't really go above and beyond. I come from a hot rod background, so we used to make sure everything was absolutely perfect. If there was a hose going through somewhere, there was a bulkhead. If there's wiring, you don't see it. If there's plumbing, we hide it. We use heat shrink for hose clamps. So in that world, the frame off stuff is different. Customer says, what can we do? So similar to what you're saying, instead of modifying the frame or strengthening the frame or making something that would have looked better, we're basically making a full frame for the Super Duty.
Which is like our most common.
So you can replace it, right?
Yes, so we can replace the whole frame, and basically we can make a frame file. Of course, we can make a frame file where it's modular. So if somebody wants to do this for like an old truck and they want to put the same suspension, if they want to, you know, whatever the case might be. Type assembly.
What do you think about this?
Some crazy stuff.
What do you think?
You want to sit
I
down?
love it. No,
There's a
I
couple
was
other
trying
things.
to remember this because I used to work on this on
SolidWorks?
In SolidWorks?
Yeah,
You
SolidWorks
work on
and
SolidWorks?
AutoCAD. Yeah, in university.
Ah,
She studied medical engineering
Yeah?
and she worked with that, yeah.
Where, back home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You guys are both from Romania?
Yes,
What part of Romania?
Bucharest. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
capital.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Really nice.
I've heard there's like really, really good pockets, and then there's like really, really,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, beautiful women we have over there.
Yeah.
Good parties, beautiful women, and Dracula.
Dracula?
Yeah.
I've never
I
heard
have
that term.
vampires.
we gotta go.
You have to.
You guys still live over there?
Yes.
You guys do business over there, or where's your main
worldwide.
business? Worldwide?
Main business, Germany, Europe.
Germany? Yeah, on your
Also-
Instagram I saw Germany, so I was
Yes, also US, Japan, basically all over the world.
like, where do you guys manufacture?
In Thailand,
In Thailand?
we have there's an island.
Okay.
It's super small. It's like 6 square kilometers. And we sold over there like 10 or 20 sets. I think every car on that fucking island has got my wheels.
Really?
Something like this. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why. But they were a lot. But it's really small.
Yeah, of course. And the same manufacturer that you guys are using for the forgings is also the person cutting the wheels? It's full start to end for you guys?
Yes,
So
yes,
it's all
there's-
in the same place. It's not going to a forging house and then to a CNC
No,
house.
no.
Same
No,
house.
there's one company.
Mhm.
They have a humongous building, and they do from like the raw material.
Yep.
It comes in like you know how
Yeah,
how
yeah.
it looks like this.
Ingots is the term.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And they do it from these ingots till the
To the finished wheel
perfect
product.
finished
Boxing
wheel,
ready for you with your brand on it.
everything.
That's
Yes,
perfect. That's
yes.
awesome.
and they're super professional.
Really?
And really good quality. I worked with them like for 13 years, and we
Wow.
didn't have even one complaint or one warranty issue
Really?
so far.
Wow.
It's insane.
That's impressive.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, man.
Wanna
And
make
you do
love
the
kits?
design, so people don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
that we.
What I do, I design. I do the.
Where do you design?
I
Like, how
have-
do you design on
I,
AutoCAD? or
basically, yes,
SolidWorks?
AutoCAD, and then also SolidWorks,
Okay.
and we have everything tested in Germany, TUV. So every single wheel design that we manufacture has certification. We
Okay.
don't sell anything. You can't even sell in Germany.
That's what I was gonna ask. How's the
Yeah.
road authority in? Because I
Yes,
feel like
you-
in Europe is way stricter than here.
Absolutely, not in every country, but in the main
Germany?
market, in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Luxembourg, the main countries, people don't buy your wheels because they know they're going to be stopped by the police. So they
To check.
take- yeah.
So your wheels bear, like here in the U.S., they take a USDOT stamp. And
Yes.
They bear a stamp for the German
Yes,
authority as
exactly.
well and stuff like that.
You get a certification. It's kind of a paper where everything is written down from what tire size you are allowed to drive, if you are allowed to put them on the.
Yeah, all the
specific car.
liability concerns that the wheel
Yes.
manufacturer deems appropriate based on that wheel design.
Exactly.
That's good. It's
So-
really impressive.
But that's why I was asking before how it is with you, because
So
here-
for us, it's a little bit different as far as constraints and contingencies go. We have a lot of flex room by actually telling customers, in theory, if we really wanted to, which is what a lot of companies do, saying for off-road use only. Nobody really wants to have that type of term. Obviously, in America, insurance is a big thing, right? So
Mhm.
by simply abiding by having product liability insurance, which is something that I feel like every manufacturer pretty much does, you can cover, most of the assets that you would send to the customers, right?
But there's no like law like we have in.
We don't need a PE for the things that we
Okay.
manufacture. The professional term is called here a professional engineer. You don't need a PE to sign off on the things that we
That's
manufacture.
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
As far as these things are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And technically, we I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but there's a thing called like murky waters.
Mhm.
You're in an area where
The
you
gray area.
gray area is that's
Alright.
exactly where we're at, right?
Murky water.
So we're in a gray area where you could get away with it, but for instance, an OEM manufacturer is not going to stand by the product.
Mhm.
Does that make any sense or no?
Yes, absolutely.
So if you look at the last kit that you saw that's getting installed, we're trying to work together with a couple dealerships here on getting those kits installed. So the way we work with that is that kit still keeps all of the factory stuff completely retained, and there's no issues, and all of the factory warranty wouldn't be voided. But now, suspension-wise, they don't want to warranty everything. So what we do is we offer our personal warranty based on the suspension we install. You get me? We offer our warranty to that dealer. We're like, hey, if we have any issue from the bottom down and you guys don't want to cover it, we'll cover it.
Okay.
We do it as a testimony to prove exactly that we stand behind what we're making, and what we're making isn't bad for that.
That would be by far not enough in Europe.
No.
Nobody would give any shit about that. Nobody.
It's
You
very
need the
strict.
authorities' certification stuff. And
We're
it's
having
really
a similar
tough.
situation with that importation of the silver and orange truck.
Mhm.
So the silver and orange truck is originally supposed to go to Dubai. Customer built it here. Customer built it here. We are indeed on that truck. Have like a business venture that we're going to be working on it together. It's supposed to go over there. Super cool dude. Super excited to do this build. Lifelong dream. We had built 2 other ones like 3 years ago, but completely different caliber of build, right? Our both manufacturing and production capabilities have changed drastically. So after getting the build through, we had to submit all sorts of technical documentations down to every single hole that we've drilled on that chassis. Super strict things that in my head, I'm like, there's no way anybody's realistically going to look at this and know what they're looking at. But for whatever reason, they need to look at that. Well, the timeline that they have to approve that so that can be like a legal drivable vehicle over there versus being just like a museum vehicle or a show vehicle is a process. And that process is still not deemed done. Now, they have like a pretty long timeline on what they can or can't approve it in. And within that timeline, we're going to lose on that truck being still model year new. Because if not, it's going to have to import. It's titled under his name and everything here in the U.S., although being, a citizen over there. So it's a little complicated. So now we're probably going to have to sell that project here. And then once we get the approval, rebuild the same exact thing on a later model year. But back to what you're saying. Yes, a lot of strict laws that inhibit all
I
those
didn't
things.
expect that to be in Dubai that strict.
Yeah, so check it out. So this is a frame. This frame mimics what would have been a Super Duty frame. If you look at these mounts are going to be the cab mounts. Huh? Yes, correct. So this is all going to be CNC rectangle tubing cut with a tube laser. We'll get this outsourced. And then everything else will be laser cut sheets that we make. But we're still reusing products that we already use. You'll get this tranny mount here and this tranny cross member. This is something that already exists on our existing kits. These 4-link bars, the same ones that we design. These coil buckets and these reservoir mounts, it's the same thing. Obviously, this has got very minimal detail right now, but you see how this has like 2 layovers here? It'll take that same decorative plate here, here, and all throughout. You look at the cross member that we designed for underneath with an added skid plate. So if, God forbid, this ever rubs on something, you're not sacrificing the actual cross member. All those little things is what we're doing, but we really believe that by doing a frame like this and powder coating a frame like this and then decorating it with all of our decorative plates, we get the same quality of finish and of product that we make on like the regular kits that we normally make.
Sick. How much would this be extra cost?
I don't really think we can make the frame for that much. We're trying to make the frame really affordable. We're trying to make the frames like maybe like in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. It's really not.
I thought so.
Yeah, but we did.
The cool idea would be if you bring your truck in, and then you literally drop off the truck, and then one day we just swap your cab to the custom frame with the lift kit on it, and now you don't have any wait time.
Okay,
The
that's
truck's
an
complete.
extra bonus that you can do really fast.
You can get a fast frame-off
Okay,
build.
you're
That-
right.
You can get a build of that caliber that would normally take a normal shop about.
How many bolts are they? Like
The cab, 6 bolts.
Crazy.
Yeah,
You swap
You
the
could
cab,
basically
swap the
let him
motor.
wait outside and.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but
in
that
a
is the
few
principle,
hours,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the principle. You can
Yeah,
drop
so
it
that'd
off.
be amazing, right?
Yeah, and that's the idea. Because a frame-off build like that is usually something that somebody puts a truck away for about a year or two, realistically. And most of these frames have a lot of similarities from, well, there's a lot of similarities from back to 05. But
So that's why I said modular. You could basically reuse some of them and build them together for certain.
all of these different components can
models.
change, right? So like from this frame horn forward on the 17s is a little bit different than on the older bodies from 16 down.
That's so insane.
So we pick every single point that changes.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
Legos.
Kinda, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Big boy Legos.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
Let's go play with the real Legos.
You
Yeah,
really
trucks-
know your shit. I like the way you explain everything. You can see that it's passion. You can see that he knows exactly what he does because he designed it.
Yeah, man. I tried to at least, make it look like it.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, so cool. Maybe you can see now the finished products outside.
Let's
the
go,
people-
man.
I mean, I made a vlog with his car before, like the day before yesterday, but we didn't see yours.
Okay, perfect.
So that's one of your finest vehicles. That
This is definitely one of the finest, definitely one of the most viral that we have on the internet. Obviously starts life as a cabin chassis truck.
yeah. Everybody knows James anyway. So
Yeah, that's exactly
you're
what I want.
fucking famous in Europe.
Just like us, but he's rich.
So if you look at everything in the truck, you're gonna notice a lot of similarities to all the other products that we offer. This is the same coilover conversion if you have a regular F250. This is the same fabricated sway bar. You ask me what we make on the mill, you'll see the billet pieces, the billet sway bar clamps, the billet here. You're gonna see the billet on the dual steering stabilizer down there. All of the other components, including like this front truss, these 4-link bars, are the same components we use on our like 20-inch kit, on our 12-inch kit. It just happens to be on this truck as well. This cradle is a lot bigger than the ones that we normally would have had. So what we did is that we divided the cradle into 3 pieces. You notice a seam here and you'll notice a seam here. So it's basically a scaled version of what we call our mega cradle to fit the proportion of this truck. And then obviously with the stainless layover, we get to cover it. But if you notice, we still reuse factory holes in these locations. And you can come back here, you'll really see it really good here. You see this plate? If you stick the camera through there, you'll be able to see the factory holes in that body mount will line to those holes and all of those different positions. The same thing happens working back here. These are 2 fully custom axles. I'm sorry that they're really dirty. These guys were hanging out in the ocean and then in the lake. But these are 2 fully custom axles that we get made, and then we finish off with our trusses and all of our brackets to hold our 4-link bar. We get that transfer case made. So both of these are driven. Both of them do have an LSD spool inside, so they do have that. And obviously coilover conversion, we make the brake lines in-house. You're gonna notice the funny part. I mean, this is gonna be a little too technical, but the guys that really know, this is a true rear axle. A lot of guys that make steerable trucks, they'll put a front axle in the back. That's not correct because the gear side, there's a side called the coast side and there's a song called the gear side. This has the true coast side and the correct side. So when you let off the throttle and when you're driving this vehicle, this is a true rear end. The best part is that since there's 2 rear ends, this vehicle actually has a higher GVWR than the stock one would. People are like, oh yeah, that looks great and it works. You know, can I go on the highway? Can I go fast? And like the one thing we try to brag about is that these 2 rear axles are actual rear axles. They just happen to have the outsides shaped of the front axle with everything else inside gets made. So we have, you know, these beefy 1.5-inch diameter axle shafts, 1550 U-joints. These U-joints here are really, really tough. They're also non-greasable ones so that things can't come inside the U-joints and stuff like that. And then obviously all of the stuff that you've seen with the rear steer. Let me walk you by here. It'll be easier to see it here. The rear steer will have, I'll show you on the app now, but these are the steering rams. There's 1 and 2. If you look up there, do you see the valve block where all the hoses are connected to? All of that is going to be electronically controlled on that application that I'll show you that we designed and made. And all of the controls start basically right here. This is more billet, watch your head. More billet parts that we make. You see this billet? This will mount on the top of what is the nut there, this billet arm. And this tells you where every single axle is on the application. So when you open up the application, and you were seeing here, you would see where all of these are in live position. I'll turn it on now and we'll mess with it a little bit, but you'll understand. Basically, it grabs the relativeness of where the front is. And if you're in crab or in tight, it'll do the middle and the rear in the same or the opposite. You know what I mean? So
We saw it rolling on the street like the other day. It's nuts.
yeah, man.
Well, I have no questions. I don't know why. I'm not that the technical guy to put any like technical questions.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Go there and I'll show you some stuff. Watch your head though.
So just did you guys understand how tall this thing is? Look at him. How tall are you? 6'4"? Look at this. It's humongous. It's like huge.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
I couldn't believe you've been in the wheel.
But we're never here.
Been there, done that.
So, for instance, I guess we'll do this. That'll make life easy. It's a little demo mode, but I just wanted to show you. So right now, you'll see the rear of the truck is at 30 degrees. The front is kind of flat. The truck's off right now, right? But realistically, if it's sitting here, it'll be sitting in this position, right? If we wanted to bring it back to straight, we'd put it in drive, and both of the rears are going to find true center. Now they stay
Can
locked.
you do that again?
Yeah.
Walk every day.
That's insane. But you definitely need to learn how to drive that because
It's very easy. We'll go for a spin now. You'll see that it's pretty seamless. You know, the app kind of does everything for you. You just need to understand which one of the 3 buttons you need to hit. There's nothing else you could do.
But it's huge, like
Right, that's the bigger part. But I mean, most of the guys that are buying this or looking into this already have another bigger truck anyways, you
You're
know?
familiar with that.
So the big truck effect is not really the problem, you know what I mean? What seems menacing is its size, not the fact that it rear steers, you know? So, you want to jump in and go for a ride?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Did you guys see this one?
Yeah, that's the
haven't seen
second
this
one.
one yet.
We didn't see this one
same thing.
before.
But yeah, before we hop into that one, this is the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Just a different color.
It
But
looks
it is
nuts.
too, and that's technically the first one. Like if you break it down to units, this is unit 1 and that's unit 2. You know, this one is silver and orange. Comment below, what do you guys like better, the silver and orange team or the white and gold team?
Let's get
Do
in.
you want to go for a drive?
Yes.
How are you going to take it out of here? Oh,
It has rear steer.
Come on.
I don't want to.
You. Why not? Come on. Let's get inside. You come here.
Look at me. You are so cute. But I'm smoking. James, I'm sorry. No, wait.
These videos go viral. You help put that in?
Yeah.
This video is Alright, man, let's get it together.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get a video of you guys pulling out so that you can use it in the clip.
Perfect. Over to me. Yeah, I will ask this guy.
What's
Maybe
that smell?
he will let us to drive over. Could you do that? Drive over the Corvette?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I'm not kidding. You know how viral this would get?
No, that's definitely viral.
We'll buy the Corvette. How much can he ask for it? 40K?
40K, yeah. It would be worth it for like 100 million views.
Probably, yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You don't gotta convince us.
Just let me know when and where.
Not much is gonna happen to the truck, you know? Like, truck image is fun.
So now we're gonna have a ride in this
Yes. So basically, right now we just have it locked.
monster.
Right. Let's get out of the traffic. Let's put the windows in so they don't go. Unless, sorry, I didn't mean to put up your window.
Good
I'm gonna
space.
get Hot's box in here with my icon. The most European thing on planet Earth.
The most what?
European thing. It's smoking this.
Yeah, the vape.
It's
How
not
many
a vape,
people
it's
will you let
tobacco.
drive your car?
It's tobacco.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but you can drive it if you want.
Oh my god, I'm not sure.
Only a few people have driven it.
No, don't let him do that.
So just like, a couple little things. Like we'll put it,
You know what I was
You see
curious
how the-
about?
the rear does the
The
opposite.
comfort.
Yeah, no, I don't drive normal. You'll see now.
Yeah, it drives really good.
Drives no.
Probably.
Just a big truck. All it is, a big truck.
Obviously a big truck
We're
because
gonna-
I have so much space. I think more than in my living room. Is it a crab mode?
Yes, we're going sideways. Now we'll go this way.
This is a different way to go sideways. Usually when I go sideways, it
Tons
looks
of
different.
power and tons of smoke. Yeah. Well, this is how it feels when you go sideways, right? So we're going sideways fast, right?
Can you go fast sideways?
Yeah, as fast as you want. And then we're gonna go back to straight. This is what you feel like normally.
Oh my god.
Right?
So there are no restrictions on that, right?
In theory, yes. Go back to the gray water area.
Okay.
Yes. In theory, yes. Hydraulic steering is not really supposed to be roadworthy.
But since we are in Florida, I mean,
Right. Right. Just waiting for Peaches so he can get
we're
out.
waiting for the electric one.
Yeah, that's my car.
You drive electric?
Of course, man.
Oh.
What else do I look like?
Not like electric.
So then put it in tight. The rear will do the opposite of what the front is doing. And that's how you get this weird little feeling.
This is insane. I would like to see it from outside.
Yeah, that's why he's there recording.
It's recording, right?
Yeah, I'll lock it now. We'll see that we can go. I mean, it's school time. So we can go, you know, whatever speed you like. Sure.
That's gonna be the most fun vlog I've ever did. Oh.
That's PJ recording. So we'll be doing, the speedo's gonna be off by like 10, you know, so we're doing probably 30 or 30 something right
Okay.
now. We'll go back to drive, take us right back to straight. And now we're driving a regular straight truck again.
Oh, that's how
Yeah,
you
it's
do
super
it
easy.
with the app. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
That's why you were so easy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's cool.
It feels crazy, huh?
It feels nuts, especially when you go like, you know,
Sideways.
sideways. Yeah, it's different. You're not used to anything,
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that. I mean, it. For example, the Porsche has the rear steering. You can feel it, but it's like minimal. It's like maybe 2% of what this thing does. You
Yeah,
know.
of course.
What's
That's
this?
cool.
Checkers?
Fast food.
It's good?
It's all right.
We need to try everything here. What's American?
What type of food do you guys like?
Everything.
Everything?
Yes.
Grounded beef.
Yeah, we are like gym rats.
Yeah. I figured ground
We
turkey every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Ground beef.
It's okay. I
ground rice,
started
and
eating
then
ground turkey not too long ago. So I understand.
But you're not allowed to go inside the city, Brickell,
Who?
with this.
Yeah. You haven't seen all his videos in Brickell?
Yeah, you got fined.
Yeah, well, that's because he parked in a bicycle lane.
You didn't tell us that.
Yeah. I gotta have an issue. If you don't do anything wrong, you don't have an
Can
issue.
you make a U-turn with it?
Yeah, it makes really, really good U-turns. I'll show you.
Do people watch, like look at you?
Yeah, this is the
look,
this person's
it's
already
filming.
starting to film. You know, it's the most.
He was already like a big
Yeah,
car.
yeah, he was already ready to film.
I'd love to drive that, but just straight. I think I couldn't like turn.
No, I think you'll be just fine. You can also turn it without using this. You know, it also
Yeah,
drives
like a
regular.
normal.
Like right now, you leave it in drive. The rear's not doing nothing. You put your phone down, and you're back to driving like if you're just driving a regular vehicle. It's just a little bit big. But like for instance, like let's say we got to make a U-turn here.
Wow.
No way.
You couldn't do this with like a regular car.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's very maneuverable. Just
Yeah.
because it's really, really long, it's 25 feet long, doesn't mean that it doesn't maneuver
Exactly.
perfectly fine. You know.
Much better than my goal. Gonna do that with the goal. Let's buy this and take it home.
Oh my god, I would love to
But
drive
we
Are there
over.
streets big enough over there?
Nah.
No.
No chance. I'd like to drive with it over my haters.
Yeah. That's funny. Man.
Can I say something worse than mine? Go to Piazza Costituție and drive over everybody.
What does that mean?
It's this
That's a spot where all the car guys meet.
Mhm.
and,
there are haters.
Yeah.
many
You
of
guys have a
them.
lot of haters?
No, I
Not
wouldn't say
really.
that. I'm easy with the haters, and with the hate, I don't really care. They can
Okay.
say whatever they want. The more, because you know, nowadays your value it's very sad, but your value is somehow connected to the amount of hate you have. The
No,
more
I
hate you have, the more relevant you are. If you're not relevant, you don't have hate. So
I know.
what is it? You kind of have to embrace them. So
No, for sure.
don't care about them too much.
No, but they're funny.
Yeah.
Everybody lives their own lifestyle.
Oh, you have also Apple Play.
Yeah, so we actually just got approved like 60 days ago to get this app on CarPlay.
That would be great.
So it was a little bit of a hard process because obviously we need to deem the importance of this app. They don't allow you to have any app here that's not for driving reasons. They don't want people to be eating shit while they're driving,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
Of course.
So now the problem with CarPlay is that every vehicle has a different shape. You know, there's some vehicles that have longer shapes. So having the UI uniform and pretty, because we don't want them to accidentally hit one of these buttons and it hits the other button that does the opposite, right? So it's been a little bit hard to be able to get all the little dimensions in so that when we recode this for this UI, it's proper. But that's where we're hopefully trying to launch maybe by like the summer.
When you think that's that important, I wouldn't. I mean,
I like it. A lot of people don't like the idea of having the phone if they're going to be, I call it eating shit. I feel like the only,
that's why. Yeah,
yes,
makes sense.
you know, and I think this is a lot cleaner. We do have like an extra module that we haven't put in any of these vehicles where you can go to any of the 3 modes on like a little button, you know, and realistically in any problem, you could just hit that. You know, because there's a lot of people I think are like, oh, but then what happens if you don't have your phone? I was like, I've never been without my phone, you know?
True.
Oh, what happens if your phone dies? My phone never dies. I can't make money if my phone's dead.
And
so
yeah, you're in a car, so you have a cable, you can charge
right,
it,
I
so
understand, but you know, you gotta consumers. You know, there's shoes without shoelaces,
It's a
and they're like,
question,
"How are
though.
you gonna
Yeah.
tie your shoes?" It's like, "Bro, I don't, you know, these are ready without shoelaces." You know, there's so many different things. You know, so
Yeah, right. There we go. We are back home. It's just so crazy.
Did you kill one of the birds? in the process?
Yeah, why do you have so many birds around here? Is there any reason
it's
for that?
just like a Miami thing.
I mean, I like it, but it's
Birds, dogs, and
very
iguana.
it's very particular.